What's up, guys? We are at the Pearl, Mississippi Regional, and I'm here with
Austin.
And Austin. What are you playing today?
Spirals. Here today at Pearl, I ended up getting 4th place after I finished X1 in Swiss.
So let's see what the new Titan of the format is looking like.
So let's start the monsters. It's 3 Magician Souls. This deck had consistency issues before this card came out, and this solved a lot of them because you're able to double up with Artho in the deck too, which is I'm running a max of. Being able to dump your master plan and get it into grave, and then finding a way to get it back, get it on board is just a really great way of starting your plays. Usually, this at any form of graveyard recursion is full combo. And then, let's see, for the Spyral monsters, there's 2 Agent and 1 Tough. I was running 3 Agent before, but 2 really seems to be all you really need. I know the the Altageist matchup, Tough will come up more and Agent will come up more in numbers, but these were fine for me all day. Then had 2 Master Plan. Since Miss Soul's dumping one Master Plan with its effect, it's really good to play 2, just in case if you open the 1, that way you still have ways to play with Souls. You don't want to ever be in a situation where you can't use its effects. Then Sleeper. Sleeper's the boss monster of the deck. He's fantastic. Being able to destroy cards is great. Then Quick Fix. Quick Fix is just, this card's broken and it allows you to discard your rescues out of your hand that you keep searching with your master plan, and it's just being able to search even more graveyard recursion or utility is always great. Then Drone. Drone's great because of it. Like Tough, you get to know the top card of your opponent's deck, but with this being able to rearrange, it's great turn 1, as well as it being a Spiral Gear that you switch off Quick Fix. The core combo, you'll banish Assault from your grave and special this from hand before you even called on double release. Then for the last Spiral monster is Spiral Gear, the Last Resort. I thought about bumping it up to 2, but 1 was fantastic all day. I never missed a second copy. Also, it's just it being able to make Sleeper untargetable and unable to be destroyed is ridiculous. Then that was all for the Spiral monsters. For the rest, a lot of people have cut Dangers, but I'm still playing the 5. I think that these are good because they have a lot of synergy with the deck. Being able to discard cards out of your hand and being able to draw cards is always going to be good in a deck like this, as well as their darks. So in scenarios where you need to make Curious, they're good in that scenario too. But it did seem like today I was siding out Jackalope and Nessie a lot, and Tsuchinoko was the only one that was just like, it was good regardless of my hand. I may cut these later on, but I'm not too sure. And then, let's see, 3 Drone Lockbird. It's the only hand trap I played in the deck. I didn't play the Lairless XYZ, so I didn't play Crow. And really, you have to play this because of Spirals in the format. It's also good against random things, like I had a 6 Samurai matchup today, and I drilled the 6 Samurai matchup, and it was really good. That's it for the monsters. It was 20 monsters. Then for the spells, 3 were Artho. Now this card is ridiculous because if you open up this with Quick Fix or this with Souls, you essentially get the tutor the other. Probably my favorite card in the deck, honestly, and it's also not a hard one per turn. And it can search Droll. That's also really dumb. And then 3 Call by the Grave because we're playing combo and we really don't want to get stopped by hand traps. 2 Foolish Burial Goods. I've thought about bumping it to 3, but I don't like blank copies in the hand. It sucks overall. I think 2 is just fine. Also, it is another combo piece for Magician Souls. Then 2 Big Red. I played only 1 of this for the longest time, but I finally bumped it up to 2, and I'm not disappointed with it. In the grind game, it definitely came up. I'm glad I moved it up to 2. Then Assaults and Spyral Resort. Spyral Resort, if it wasn't at 1, you'd play as many as possible. It's the best card in the deck. preventing targeting of your monsters and being able to search once per turn, and it not being a hard once per turn is just great. And Assault's just the one you banish from grave to special summon from hand. Then for the one-up spells, because Spirals play a lot of one-ups because that's essentially how the deck was ran for the longest time and why it had consistency issues for the longest time. And with that, you're able to combo off with just these cards, like some of these cards. Like 1-for-1 is full combo in this deck. If you resolve 1-for-1, you're probably winning that game. As well as like opening up combo plus like Monster Reborn is able to give your board like a lot more power. So just all of these cards are essential for the deck. Except Succession, I wouldn't say is essential, but personally I do like it a lot because it's just another Monster Reborn. And that's it for the spells. That's 18 spells. And then for the traps, played 4, 3 rescue, and 1 anti-spell. The combo that I was doing a lot of the day was making the Curious and then dumping anti-spell and setting it with Griffin, because this deck loses really hard to there can be Dark Ruler No More, and this just is a really good out to that. Being able to flip anti-spell during the standby phase and not being able to get Dark Ruler, it just makes a huge impact. Sometimes there's boards you can end on where your whole Tri-Gate board with Sleeper and anti-spell with the Griffin, and that's just... it's a lot to get over. Really double evenly is the way to out that. It's a 42 card main board. Let's see.
Yeah, when double evenly is the out to play.
Yeah. We'll move to the extra. So I've got play 1 Link Rebo. Link Rebo is even more essential than what it already was, it being able to clear level 1s and give you a down pointing arrow. Also, it's a dark, and that comes up a lot of Curious. And for the Link 2s, 2 double helix. I finally bumped this to 2. With Warning being at 3 and Strike being played more, it's just really good to have 2. That way you never have to worry about your first one getting stopped on the summon and then not being able to access it. Then Nightmare Phoenix and Cerberus, these will always be good in this deck because they say discard cards. Going second, these give so much power to the deck, being able to break boards and being able to just co-link these to Tri-Gate Wizard and preventing it from being destroyed by battle or card effects. Also protects your Appaloosa, which is really good. Then Barricade Board Blocker, probably the best non-Spyral card. It's just a free discard by putting 2 monsters together. You chain block Master Plan when you link her off with this, and it's just a really good card. Also, there's a neat little interaction where if you summon Barricade Board Blocker throughout the turn during the end phase, since Resort isn't actually a mandatory on its maintenance cost, during the end phase you can blow it up and then add it back with Barricade Board Blocker, and it's a really neat way to play around evenly. Then for the last link too, it's just IP. IP is just for the hands where you get hand traps and you can't end on a whole lot. IP comes up. You'd actually be surprised how much you IP in a Unicorn, although Unicorn used to be such an essential part of the combo. But now IP being existent, if you get hand trapped like Drolled or whatnot, it gives you something rather than ending on nothing. But that's it for the Link 2s. Then for the Link 3s, it's Tri-Gate. Tri-Gate's just your negate. Also, its Co-Link 2 effect is really strong, being able to banish 1 monster. That comes up a lot. Nightmare Unicorn, as I said, it used to be really essential to the combo. I mean, now it's still good. If you open up the field spell, it is absolutely required. But it's, like I said, with IP, it's always going to be good. Then for the last Link 3 is Curious. Curious doesn't come up often. I don't like starting with Curious, and that's the reason why I didn't play the Scrap variant, because I don't like the RNG mill at the start of the duel. I do like Curious as a card though, being able to dump anti-spell and it being a Link 3 and Griffin only taking 2+ monsters, but just being able to set it, because it answers a lot of things. There of course will be matchups where it's just not helpful against, but there's a lot of matchups where it's extremely helpful against. Then I've got Link 4s. The Nightmare Griffin, like I said, being able to set anti-spell is really strong. Also, the ability to prevent activating effects from special summon monsters is really good against some matchups. Like, it's sometimes a blowout. I think when the new Master Rule comes, this card's going to get a lot better, because people aren't going to be rolled around Link monsters anymore. Then for probably the most essential Link 4 is Appaloosa. Your combo in the midst of it, you make bow, and it's really weird with this deck because if you don't make it on your 5th summon, you usually make it like around the 7th summon-ish. Because the thing is with you when you Nibiru Spyral, if you Nibiru them at the wrong point, they can still full combo. Like if you Nibiru too early, they can full combo. If you hold Nibiru too late, this is already on board. So like, it's just I don't know. It being in the extra deck gave this deck a lot to work with, being add the extra interruptions. Then for the last 2 Link 4s, got Borreload because this deck has no way to out Abramex. You have to have it. Also, if somebody Borreloads your sleeper, you can Borreload their Borreload and take your sleeper back. But then Boral Sword, just because I actually had a scenario today where because this deck has high ceiling, and like I've thought about cutting this, but I actually had a scenario come up today where I could not kill them without having Boral Sword because of I just didn't have the monster resources. Then for the last card in the extra deck is Silver Princess Sprite. Like I said, I don't play the Lyralisk. I play this it's really just there. It's to make sure you can discard off Quick Fix again, and sometimes you rip into a Monster Reborn, and that's really fun. Except for the extra, for the side, I sided a lot today, but here. For the hand traps on the side, I did 3 Gnome and 3 Nibiru. I did Nibiru quite a bit today. Gnome never came up. I never drew it, and it makes me upset because this card has actually won me games a lot of the time. Especially with Lunalights back in the format, you're able to no material their 4 Strix. It stops them right in their tracks most of the time, unless they just have a way to get the Zephyros engraved and bounce it. As well as if you know materials, Spirals at Master Plan, it forces them to open an extender and have to play awkwardly around that Master Plan. Especially if they summon it in the middle column, they can't build a Tri-Gate board, which is always good. Also, it's a level 1 for synergy. There was a lot of times today where I normal summon Drone Lockbird and activated War Thou. I could do the same with this card. As for the monsters on the side, you got 3 twins. Twin is twin. I don't have Lightning Storm, so. Then 3 evenly, and 1 red reboot, primarily for the back row decks. Just really good. Also, this is really good against the mirror. And then for the last 2 cards on the side, play 2 World Legacy Sorrow. So the deck that topped the PPG got 2nd place. That guy, he ended up siding 3 Solemn Judgment. And I do like that. I like the idea behind it because it does stop a lot of cards. But this one says if you control co-linked monster, if your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can activate this, negate it, and destroy it. And it's a counter trap. The only downfall to it is it's a hard once per turn. But that was it for the profile.
So, if you had to name the MVP of your deck for this event, which card would it be?
Probably Filson or Richard. No, but in all actuality, it'd be Souls and Wararth though, as it stays together. Because like being able, so the problem with this deck with its consistency that it used to have, like I only bricked 1 time today, and that's because of like Souls and Wararth though adds so much consistency to this deck, and I've been playing it for so long, so I know what this deck is when it's inconsistent. And being able to have those 6 cards to get your play started is just fantastic. Like Souls is by far like what unleashed this deck.
All right, so I'll give the people your name one more time.
It's Austin Hendricks.
Thank you, Austin. I wish you luck in your future tournaments.
Thank you.
And this is Alec of Team APS. Pass turn.